Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Bakersfield, San Jose, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. Okay, we have a special guest with us. Stephen Gardner is a financial advisor and the best-selling author of Taming Wall Street, Capture the Gains, Eliminate the Losses, and Billion-Dollar Blueprint. He also covers politics, finance, and investment strategies on his YouTube channel, Taming Wall Street, which boasts nearly 2 million subscribers. 2 million, Stephen?
Yeah, well, almost 1.93 or something like that.
Wow, you're crushing it. Nice job.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Wow. And I'm very jealous of your hair.
Oh,
so
it's real.
So a lot of that's why I'm jealous. If it wasn't, I wouldn't be jealous. But a lot of people. So now there's all this stuff about Trump's tariffs, and so. The Vigilant Fox tweeted this out. David Sachs unveils Trump's strategy is to shift the national conversation. Controversy elevates message, and it's working. So this is on the All In podcast. He was with Andrew Ross Sorkin. And they question whether Trump could achieve his tariff goals if he used a softer touch. So let's listen to what happened.
Is there a way to do this with a velvet glove, if you will? And maybe there's no way to do it in a better
But what is to say? No, but what is to say this isn't the velvet glove? This could be. It's that the stock market is down 6%. Like, it's not down 60%.
But this is what I think is so interesting, Andrew, is the way that Trump has already shifted the conversation. Because the truth of the matter is that before Liberation Day on April 2nd, which is 3 weeks ago, no one was talking about the unfair trade practices. No one was talking about the dependencies on rare earths. No one was talking about the race to the bottom. And Trump has shifted the conversation.
100%.
When Jared Kushner was on the show, he talked about how the Trumpian approach is controversy elevates message. And we said at the beginning that by having this Liberation Day, by planting this flag in the ground, Trump was creating leverage to then have these negotiations, and he completely shifted the conversation. Now, where I will agree with you is that the administration has to stick the landing here, right? Besson, and it's not just Besson, also Lutnick. These are all smart, talented people. They do have to then negotiate these deals, and we have to basically stick the landing. But I think the fact that you're saying that you don't disagree with where Trump is trying to get to, but it's mostly just tactical, is a huge shift in the conversation.
So, Stephen, so here's what I say about that. I say there's a lot of truth to what he just said. Now, again, you know more about finance and business than me, which is great that I have you on today to talk about this. But and people are going crazy about Trump doing the tariff thing. But it's what he said there is certainly 100% true. He has shifted the conversation. And the big problem for me is that all the people who are criticizing Trump's tariff, they call it, crazy and chaos, and it's going to take and they're not proposing. First of all, they never, ever even talked about the drain of jobs that have been exported from our country on purpose. They took great jobs, turned them into crappy jobs, and shipped them over to China. As Jack Ma has revealed, that was our plan. That wasn't China's plan. China didn't come and steal our jobs. We gave it to them. And the people who are criticizing Trump up and down over this, his tariff ideas, don't have an alternative plan. It's not like, hey, we should do our plan to bring back manufacturing jobs. We should do our plan to rebuild the middle class. They just go, that's just crazy. We shouldn't do it. So, well, at the very least, what he just said, Sachs just said there is true, that he has shifted the conversation, right, to talk about this stuff. What do you say?
Yeah, I absolutely believe that he has. People have to remember, like was said earlier, the stock market is only down 6%. This happens all of the time, even when it's not Trump. But because it's Trump, 6 is suddenly feels like it's 60. And honestly, they're riding inflated gains of the federal government pumping so much money into the economy. Anyone that had assets, they inflated. That's the point of inflation. They made the rich richer and the poor poor. So you don't have mainstream America complaining very much about the stock market. Most of them trust that it's going to come back, but he has shifted the narrative. And I believe it's too early to tell whether the tariffs are going to work or not, but I could tell you a bunch of ways how they are working.
Go ahead.
Okay. So just from my estimation, the tariffs are working. Look at what happened with Mexico on the southern border. They've put up 10,000 people. They say that they're going to try to stop human trafficking, child trafficking. 100,000 Americans dying every year from fentanyl. Same thing up in Canada. They finally stopped the illegal invasion into Canada because they were worried about the tariffs. They got Trudeau out. They're now working with 150 countries that want to continue to get money from the American spender. The American spender is the greatest asset on planet Earth. Nobody spends like America, for good or bad, but you've got all these countries that are now negotiating. You've got Europe finally saying, maybe we should end the Russia-Ukraine war. Why? Because Trump threatened tariffs. He also said, if you guys want to continue to have this war, go ahead, but you're not going to have our money. Suddenly, the leaders in Europe are like, well, maybe we should end the war because if we don't have the American tax dollar, we don't really have a war. So I see, a lot of reasons. Let me just give a few more. President Trump has brought in approximately $5.2 trillion in committed capital.
What does that mean?
Oh, go ahead.
What does that mean?
So what that means is you've got like Hyundai willing to put up money, Honda willing to put up money, NVIDIA, $500 billion, Apple, $500 billion, SoftBank, $200 billion, Saudi Arabia, nearly $1 trillion. So you add all of that up, all of these countries, foreign businesses, local businesses, they're all saying, okay, under Trump, we want to invest in America. They're not buying our T-bills and our bonds. They're buying right into the American capitalism markets. So all of that is happening because of the tariffs. I mean, just so much money is pouring in. $1 trillion committed from Japan. Switzerland wants to put money in here. Again, NVIDIA and Apple both committed almost $1 trillion between the two of them. All of this is because of the tariffs. So can I say that the tariffs have been used as leverage to get investment flowing to America? 100%. Is it going to make your life expensive in the short run? I don't know. I don't know that for sure.
And I'll just reiterate my point is, okay, if you don't like Trump's plan, what's yours? Nobody has one. Nobody has nothing. Their plan is, hey, let's give some more money to Ukraine. Let's give some more money to Israel. Let's give some more money to the war machine. Let's do whatever our donors want. Let's keep not investing in infrastructure or healthcare or education. Let's keep doing shit like that. Let's make it illegal to have freedom of speech. That's their big idea. There's no alternative plan. There's no plan from the Democrats. There's no plan from the billionaire class because they don't want a plan. The billionaire class wants to keep the system going the way it is because it works for them. They get cheap products. They make more, but the American middle class gets hollowed out, which it has been.
Yeah, it has. Another point I wanted to make, Jimmy, is everybody's screaming about the stock market, and they're all saying that life is going to get expensive under these tariffs. But last I checked, groceries haven't gone up like they did under Biden. Gas hasn't gone up like it did under Biden. Services haven't gone up like they did under Biden. So some of these areas are about the same, maybe a small increase, and some of them have gone down, but nobody talks about that. All they talk about is the stock market's going to melt down. I mean, for heaven's sakes, you had Kramer on Mad Money saying, if you don't call off the tariffs, we're going to have a Black Monday, a 25% drop in the stock market. Guess what? The markets opened on Monday. The stock market went up. So, I mean, there's a lot of screaming and hollering. This is what Wall Street does in order to continue to have leverage over Main Street. But I don't think Main Street, meaning the American public, I don't think that they're as unhappy with Trump as the mainstream media would have you believe.
So what David Sachs said there is definitely true. That if your metrics of whether Trump's tariffs or his tariff talk or whatever you want to call it has worked, if your metrics is that it should shift the conversation, it 100% worked because it has 100% shifted the conversation. Nobody was talking about bringing jobs back to America. Nobody was talking about trying to get manufacturing back in America. Nobody was talking about reinvigorating the middle class. Nobody was talking about that. And now everybody's talking about it, but they will not come up with an alternative plan. And that's, to me, a really big tell. Okay.
Yeah. So they were talking about it, but not the way you and I think. Just 2 weeks ago, the former Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, said that this is a pipe dream. Those jobs are never coming back. So they're talking about it in terms of failing. And yet, just today, I asked Grok over on X, in the last 60 days, compile all the information on how many jobs will be created from the investment capital committed under the Trump administration in 100 days. It came back and said 451,000 high-paying jobs, which means higher than average income jobs. So 451,000 have come back in the first, are planning to come back. You've got Honda bringing back plants, Ford bringing back plants. So these jobs are coming back. Same thing. Barack Obama said those jobs from overseas, they're gone. They're never coming back, right?
I remember that.
So they only talk in terms of hollowing out the American middle class further. But they are talking about it, but only Trump has the optimism and the plan to do it. Is he executing it perfectly? No. Nobody's going to execute it perfectly, but I still stand on the side that he's doing the best that he can. A lot has been done in 100 days, and also, we're only 100 days in. How much more is going to happen in the next 265 days?
Okay, fantastic. I appreciate your perspective, Stephen, because I know, I'm in comedy clubs 3, 4, 5 times a week. And just last night, I had a good friend of mine who used to open for me, turned to me and he goes, is it time to panic? And I'm like, well, I don't know. What do you mean? He goes, well, Trump. And I go, have you stuck your head out the window lately? It looks exactly the same. Everything looks exactly the same to me. And prices of eggs have come way down. I know that. That's the thing everybody was screaming about. And again, it's just like with Russiagate. It's just like with COVID. Just like the Ukraine war. It's just an overwhelming onslaught of propaganda, and people see it everywhere. So it must be true. They see it everywhere. Well, you don't understand that the mainstream media is there not to inform you, not to give you news. They're there to manufacture consent for whatever the billionaire class wants at the moment. It's called manufacturing consent. And we knew about this 30 years ago when Chomsky and Herman wrote that book, Manufacturing Consent. The media is there, not there to inform you, dummy. That's why they've lied to you about everything. They lied to you about the DNC server being hacked by Russia. They lied about Trump being in the pocket of Russia and Putin. They lied about the Ukraine war. They lied about Syria gas attacks. They lied about COVID. There wasn't a thing they didn't lie about in COVID. They lied about Hunter Biden's laptop. They lied about Joe Biden not being demented for 4 years straight, right in your fucking face. And the same people are telling you all this shit, and they keep going back to this. They at no point do they go, "Oh my God, maybe I'm living in a toxic stew of propaganda." Yes, maybe you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should have said to your friend, hey, did you have enough money to drive here, get a drink, and purchase the comedy ticket? You seem like you're doing okay, buddy.
Okay. Hey, I have an urgent retirement warning. Even as Trump stands up to China, billionaires are fleeing Wall Street, including Warren Buffett, who dumped $133 billion in stocks. But I trust the experts at Colonial Metals to help you. So visit colonialmetalsgroup.com/Jimmy-Dore-show or call 888-910-1419 for your free gold guide on how to bulletproof your IRA and 401k with gold tax free. You could also qualify for a free home safe and as much as $7,500 in free silver. Once again, that's colonialmetalsgroup.com/Jimmy-Dore-show or call 888-910-1419. Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Bakersfield, San Jose, California, Buffalo, New York, Toledo, Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, Glasgow, Manchester, Belfast, Dublin, Liverpool, Birmingham, and London. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.